Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are here with Austin from Ohio, and today is Monday, March 7th, 2022. Well, as this whole world government begins to fully take shape around us, everywhere we look, everyone we talk to, everything that we see is all just coming to a big halt here in the near future. Now, while everybody is going on about this whole Russia-Ukraine thing or gas prices, and people are blaming the war, people are blaming presidents, people are blaming all the wrong things. These people have always had control over the economics of any given country, especially in the United States with the passage of the Federal Reserve Act in 1913 on December 23rd. So monetary policy is it's their game. That's what they created this system for, and it also, they created the system to be the world reserve currency so they can combine all of the currencies into a world currency, which is where we're headed here very soon with this this new power grab. Not this one I'm reading about. I have another article that I'm referring to, and it pretty much just brings it all into perspective. But everybody knows that these people make the prices whatever they want, and they currently want to jack up the food, jack up the oil, jack up the water, jack up everything, because that is the plan. They're starving you out. They're starving us out. They're getting us to fight and hate each other. They're getting us to take sides in a war that the people always suffer, and there's a lot of stuff going around about it, but it's not a good situation. And out of all of this, I believe that Russia will be absorbed into the European Union. I mean, look at the hit that they took already. They took a huge hit because all of these big companies, all of these credit card organizations, all these oil industries, and they're banning them from Olympic competition. They're banning them from taking part in the, wait for it, world economy, basically. So we now live in an age where these mega corporations and all of the power that comes with that can literally cripple one of the most powerful governments in the world. And it's, of course, on purpose, and Russia was supposed to become part of the European Union, but also its own separate, restored Soviet Union. It's very confusing. The Club of Rome has a map on it. I've showed it before. Not exactly sure what video it is, but I will have to bring it up again soon. But let's go on to this. World Health Organization is world government power grab scheduled for May 1st, 2022, with relaxations. You are being framed. Yeah, look everywhere. They're saying, oh, you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to stand 6 feet apart. We could take away the mask mandates. Oh, you didn't take your thing? Oh, don't worry. You can just, you don't have to get it right now. You can just wait, and then this and that. No. We're all walking into the biggest trap in the world, and here it is. We have the right to consent, not the duty. An individual exercising the right to consent cannot force another to do the same. This is why the ridiculous figure of having to be injected with, should not say that, gene, you can read that word, to protect other injected individuals from a situation caused by a non-existent situation has arisen. And if you're not reading along and you're just listening, I've referred to the entire situation that's been going on the past 2 years. Wearing a mask to protect another who is also wearing one, locking up healthy population, and forcing a gene therapy to protect old, weak, and sick people. Everything is turned around. Your right has become a duty. Our parents have also been skillfully misled. Linguistically, disinformation, and wars. And there's a little video here. I can leave the link if you guys want to watch it. I'm not gonna watch it here. The world government. No one has asked for this either. We are led to believe that we have made such a mess of things that there is no other option. To give us a helping hand, we're being healthily and mentally weakened and chipped under false pretenses, reaming, earning, and directing. Yes, and with the rise of this war, then they can also bring that aspect into it, because that was their original plan. Nothing makes people cry for peace like war. And that was their main selling point of their world government. Like, oh, there's going to be world peace. We're not going to have countries fighting each other anymore. So when all this stuff with Russia blows up, and it will, It really will, and it becomes part of the European Union or succumbs to the world government. You'll know why it happened. And then all that's left is, well, the people of the United States. The people, not the government, of course, because we still are pretty hard to take down even though we weren't, if you get what I mean. Like, we still could, even though we're not. Anyone who does not revolt against this is an accomplice. I believe in that. World Health Organization employee Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger warns us based on information she received from insiders. WHO wants to take over power because WHO decided it that way. Sneaky people they are. The regimes that participate in it commit high treason and must be culled. The message. Now, this is just the route that they went. They went the medical route. They were going to go the regular old war route. Then they were going to go the medical route back during the AIDS and all that went on. And then they were going to go the terrorism route because that was working out for a while. But now they're going back to the medical route. And they've done this on purpose. They don't put all of their eggs in one basket. They have multiple ways of getting to the same goal. That's why they have all these different organizations and sub-organizations and sub-organizations of those sub-organizations. And it just keeps going on forever. All the way down to your local Masonic lodge. So go and ask those people, do you know what you are doing? Do you even have an inkling about what you are doing? Do you know who the true God of Freemasonry is? And 20 times out of 20, they will tell you, no, we believe in the Bible. To which I would answer, yeah, you do at the third degree in the Blue Lodge because you live in America, and they would have a Bible up there. But if you went to Iran, they would have the Quran sitting up there in a Masonic lodge. It's the way it works. Like, you're a member of the Blue Lodge, you're a third degree, quote, Master Mason, even though you have 30 more to go. And you don't learn anything until you get to the higher degrees. This is how they have it on purpose, to keep people misled and to keep them thinking that it's some kind of gentleman's club where they just help their towns and whatnot, which is the furthest thing from the truth. And we all know this, but no, I'm getting off topic. The fact that they are suddenly distancing themselves from restrictions is just a game. The last week of January 2022, World Health Organization held an emergency meeting and deliberations in Geneva on expanding its powers to take over all member states in the event of a pandemic and any other form of threat or disaster. That sounds like FEMA, right? Worldwide FEMA. So, yeah. WHO wants member states to sign a new treaty on C-19, which expands the 2005 treaty. Once signed by the Ministers of Health, the World Health Organization Constitution, according to its Article 9, takes precedence over a country's constitution. 189 countries have signed the 2005 treaty during natural disasters or pandemics. Since the definition of pandemic was changed a few years ago, cases based on the PCR test, they can enforce obedience in any country and impose World Health Organization guidelines on the public, which will be mandatory, not just recommended. Okay, now this treaty, this is also backed up by the United Nations Charter and the Declaration of Human Rights. Remember when we went over that? Those videos are still up. You can go back and watch as I went through every single little tiny text in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in the UN Charter. And it says in there that countries' constitutions are to be forfeited to this worldwide constitution and Declaration of Human Rights that has nothing to do with human rights but the well-being of the world community at whole, world communism. And it really bothers me that people can't see this. They can't see what is happening through it. They just can't. I don't know what it is. They're just smart enough to get by in their everyday life and just smart enough to, operate the machines, operate all of this and go to work and do whatever. But they're not smart enough to see through all the tactics that we've been fed in our entire lives, and our grandparents and their great-grandparents, and so on and so forth. And that sounds like power over the country and the world. Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger, who has worked for the World Health Organization for 20 years, warns every country should send a public letter of protest to the World Health Organization. Government should draft a letter stating that the people do not accept the signature of the Minister of Health can decide the fate of millions of people without a referendum. It is very important to send this letter from every country to the WHO in Geneva. WHO wants all countries to be to implement the measures by May 2022. Dr. Stuckelberger shared the information that so far only the Russians have sent such a rejection letter. Oh, isn't that... That's weird. So this article was written in late February. I think it said the 28th. And so before that, because it would have had to have been before this article was published, the Russians were the only ones to send the rejection letter to the World Health Organization. Well, that kind of adds to the whole Russia thing, doesn't it? I mean, that seems like something that they would do, wage war on a country to impose world government. That's what we did in the Middle East. We're still doing it. You know how many governments we toppled? Do you know that in the first year or the first term of Obama's presidency, nobody knew this, but they went down through Sudan and they overthrew the governments and installed puppet governments and created Sudan and South Sudan? Nobody knew that. They went down the entire country and wiped it out, installed their puppet governments. They did the same thing in Libya in 2011 when they traded Ambassador Stevens for Muammar Gaddafi. That's what these people do. They don't care about human life. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. Well, I mean, they care about me as far as getting me to shut my mouth, but that's not going to happen unless they actually force me to shut my mouth, and then, But how odd is that the Russians were the only ones to send a rejection letter to this? Moving on. All right, this article is from today. World Economic Forum unveils new digital ID plan, and it's terrifying. So, the World Economic Forum, head by Klaus Schwab, who wrote the book C19, The Great Reset, in which he goes into very specific and intricate details on how they're going to overthrow the entire world and make it succumb to the Great Reset, Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. New World Order that they're now just throwing out there with this whole Ukraine thing. Like, oh, a new world order will come out of this, guys. A new world order will come out of this situation that we're in, including the situation we've been in for 2 years. They're literally overloading it to where nobody can turn anywhere else except to them. And you best believe that is exactly what they intend to do. They are doing it now. They are squeezing us dry and have been. And the weather warfare is kicked up too. And that's not going to stop. You wait till this summer when we have tornadoes in places that never even have had a tornado. The World Economic Forum recently published a new 46-page report detailing its Orwellian plan to control pretty much everything in your life. The report, called Advancing Digital Agency. Now, you guys hear that? Chopper. Oh, I see him up there above the trees. Not sure what type it is. Weird. Anyway, I will get my hands on this report and I will read the entire thing. Probably not all 46 pages in one video, of course, but I will go down through and I got to look over it first. But to get a idea of what is in it, the power of data intermediaries describes digital ID system that would collect personal data about your online behavior, purchase history, network usage, medical history, travel history, energy uses, health stats, and more. This is the Internet of Bodies. You know why they're unveiling this now? Is because most people already went out and got their digital ID. Oh, you don't remember? Oh, well, you remember that time where they told you that there was a certain thing going around and got you all scared and terrified and hiding under your bed and not wanting to go around other people and being mean to everybody and fighting and screaming at each other and killing each other in the street? Yeah, when you went and got that thing that you were supposed to be protected from, yeah, that's where it came from. Oh, and don't worry, we just slipped it in there. You agreed to it. You agreed to it when you came in and you signed the paper saying that we are not liable. Oh, you thought that was for HIPAA privacy. It actually wasn't, because if you read here in Article 3, page 17, clause for subclause 2.5, you will see that you have been screwed. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm starting to get worked up. The data would then be used to determine who could open bank accounts, conduct financial transactions, access insurance, healthcare treatment, book trips, cross borders, and more. So basically, everything in your life. What is this? They got a patent for it. WO 2020 060606. It doesn't get more plain than that, and that is a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. On the Glenn Beck radio program, Glenn breaks down the dirty details of this ID system and warns listeners to stop believing that terrifying proposals like this one are beyond the realm of possibilities. Look at what's happened in the last few months alone, Glenn says. Nothing is beyond the realm of possibilities anymore. Okay, we all know Glenn Beck is controlled opposition. He probably didn't go down through this thing and tell people what it actually means. He probably told them, like, oh yeah, so if you sign up for this, like, you're gonna have to do this and that. And he probably did not mention once that it's already patented, it's ready to go, it's already been delivered. Now all they got to do is utilize it. But don't you worry, because I am going to go through that report in the next few days, and I am going to read every single word, and I am going to take notes on it, and then I am going to present those notes to you all, because, well, that's the reason I signed up for doing this whole YouTube thing. And there's, I met a lot of cool people doing this. I mean, you guys are all great, actually. I really can't say it enough. I never imagined that when I first started, I never imagined that I would even have 100 people that would listen to what I had to say, let alone 16, almost 1,700 people. Like, you guys have always been there. You guys always have kind words. Those few people that are in contact with me, check up on me on a regular basis. Tig, I'm talking to you, my man. Thank you. I am very appreciative of all that. I'm a very busy person when it comes to work and things that I have going on in my life, but I try to answer emails. I get a bunch of emails, and if you don't have my email, I will put it in the description box as well as these two articles. It is Austin J. Star, there's two R's in Star, 0127 at gmail.com. Now, these guys are not going to stop what they're doing. We need to start coming together in our communities. We need to start talking to our neighbors when you see them outside cutting grass or shoveling snow or starting their car up in the morning. You need to go over and you need to say, hey, don't you think this is all kind of weird, what's been going on, even though nobody is dead except for the people that are dying now after they've gotten a certain thing, even though that's prevalent in your real life, because I've known people now that have been dead from the certain thing that they said was from the other thing, and that's real life. That's what happens when you go out and talk to people when you turn the television off. Like my neighbors, I don't think I would be able to talk to them, except the neighbors behind me. They know that martial law is coming. We just had a conversation about that not long ago, and because we were talking about the mandates, we were talking about all of it, and they're the ones that brought it up, and they said martial law, and I said, you're damn right, and it's coming. And then I told them that we're on the same page, and that's good, that we now have a little thing going on here, so that's good. That's very good. But my surrounding neighbors, I don't think they would be of much help. I think they would probably be betraying each other, unfortunately, because that is the primitive form of man that they have dumbed us down into. They've dumbed us down all the way back to the dawn of man, where we were just a bunch of morons sitting around trying to figure out what the hell is going on and what we can eat and what we can't eat and what's going to kill us. But now in this new age, all that stuff is understood as basic instinct. But in this new age, now intelligence is looked at as somebody who recites the news every single day, somebody who sits there and can spout off all of the talking points from all of the propagandists and conspirators and co-conspirators. These are the people that do this. These are the people that are in all of these positions, including your local governments. Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development, which is the New World Order, is to be implemented, and pushed on a local level. That's just the way that things work. And that is what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep bringing this up. They're going to keep pushing at the local level. And I guarantee if you ask them questions about it, about sustainable development or anything that had to do with that, they would probably turn you away because that's what they are told to do. Closed off from the public. But as always, I will keep an eye on things. I'm going to read this report that I'm pretty sure I can get right here. I'm pretty sure that's the report link right there. And I will return with information regarding that. God bless you all, and good night.